On Crimewatch tonight, serial burglary hits the streets of Chinatown. What are some things you should not bring back from your holidays overseas?
Hi, I'm Jessica Ang, and welcome to another episode of Crimewatch. Located in the Central Business District of Singapore, Central Police Division, also known as A Division, plays a vital role in maintaining peace and order in a city centre that never sleeps. In our first story, we watch how A Division officers, through successful networking with businesses, arrest a serial housebreaker within 2 months of his first break-in.
All was quiet in the early hours of a Tuesday morning. Along Smith Street, businesses were either closed or closing for the night. Mr. Ko, the owner of a restaurant occupying 3 floors on Smith Street, was the last to leave his premises that day. After locking up the office on the 3rd floor, he would also make sure the restaurant on the 2nd and ground floors was safely secured. Unfortunately, that was not sufficient to deter an experienced housebreaker. It was his fatal mistake that he did not lock his back door from the inside.
I remember putting the money here, safely locked away. Now, everything is gone.
Is there anything else missing?
Projector,
Okay.
2 cameras, a wallet with credit cards, $800 cash, and a laptop computer.
The investigation was led by I.O. Sim from Central Police Division.
Looks like fresh marks. Amil, can you take a shot of this?
I.O. Sim observed that someone had pried the door open, probably with a screwdriver.
The suspect could be into ITs and gadgets. He tried to break in at least 2 other shops in the area. One of them is just next door. They reported that they found some tampering marks outside the rear door, and the position of the CCTV has been shifted. Same with another shop just a few doors away. In both cases, he couldn't get in as the doors were locked from inside. Guys, look like we have a lot of work to do.
$100 to repay.
Evidence was pointing to a serial housebreaker burglar who was keen on IT products. The officers proceeded to visit second-hand computer shops.
Yes, I'm Officer Sim from Central Police Division.
Oh, yeah?
I'm looking for an Acer laptop, which looks like this.
A picture resembling the stolen laptop with the make and model was shown to the shop owner.
Can I have a look at your record book?
Okay. All my transactions are filed in here.
The serial numbers of the laptops sold to the shop did not match any of those stolen, and the officers proceeded to visit other second-hand computer shops in the area, one by one. The officers visited some 20 shops in the vicinity, but despite the meticulous run-through of the records available, none of the stolen computers was found. To ensure that there was no stone left unturned, the stallholders and shopkeepers in the vicinity were also interviewed and asked if they'd spotted anyone behaving suspiciously during the dates and times of the break-ins. But again, the interviews came to a dead end. True enough, the burglar was bold and did not stop. More break-ins were reported, this time in 2 neighboring premises in Upper Cross Street.
Hello, police.
I want to report a break-in.
I would like to report a break-in.
By now, it was confirmed there was a serial housebreaker at large. To harden preventive measures, the Community Liaison and Preparedness Team officers from Bukit Merah East Neighborhood Police Center visited businesses in the vicinity with advisories to alert them of the burglars' modus operandi, as well as to get them to tighten the crime prevention measures. Meanwhile, at the investigator's office,
Guys, it seems that the person is targeting at these few areas: Temple Street, Smith Street, Upper Cross Street, and Teo Hong Road. I think the person is targeting at pre-war houses in Chinatown areas. Looking at the patterns and trend, we can lay our ambush here. Any questions?
No, sir.
based on reports of the break-ins, police believed the burglar would hit a shop in Pagoda Street and through the back door of these shops. The men were split up, and as part of the ambush, they patrolled the alleys, keeping a sharp lookout for suspicious characters.
Alpha 2 to Alpha 1, possible suspect in some store over.
All resource proceed to Alpha 2 location now.
Roger, negative. Suspect is with family, negative over.
Request cancel, request cancel.
Other than an occasional false alarm, the first ambush was generally uneventful. Not to be deterred, but determined to nab the housebreaker, further ambushes were carried out on other nights. About 3 weeks later, the burglar struck again. Once again, computers were the targets. This time, 6 laptops were taken from the shop at Neil Road.
I 6 nearly brand new laptops. This morning they just disappeared, vanished into thin air.
When did you last see the laptops?
Last Friday evening, before I left at about 9:30 p.m.
Is that the last time you see the laptops?
Yes, but my staff was here on Saturday to do some work.
Yes, I came back last Saturday morning.
So what time do you leave the office?
About 1:30 in the afternoon. But I always make sure all the window and door are locked.
How? Anything?
You see the marks here? I think the fella is trying to be a Spider-Man. Must have crime for here. There's no signs of any forced entry here.
Is that laptop?
Yeah, I do. Okay, it looks brand new. I buy it. Just write your name and your IC on the receipt. Okay. I'll pay you $600, all right?
Okay.
The network of communication established with the second-hand computer shops by the A Division officers proved critical to the investigation. Noticing the great similarity between the laptop he'd just bought and the stolen one, the shop owner immediately contacted the police.
Same here. What is it? Where? Okay, thanks.
What was that?
I think we traced one of the stolen laptop. Let's go.
Let's go.
After the break, find out how police nabbed the serial housebreaker. The networking with second-hand computer shops beyond just Central District indeed paid off. The second-hand computer shop was in Ang Mo Kio, away from Chinatown, where the break-ins occurred.
This was the only one sold.
Is that the only one?
Yes, this was the only one that sold to me on Saturday.
Can you check?
A check through the records confirmed the laptop was indeed one of the 6 stolen from the IT company at Neil Road. The police now had a name: Ko Meng Meng.
Can you describe to me how the man looks like?
Normal.
What about his behavior?
Also normal. He didn't look suspicious or anything.
Can you recognize him if you see him again?
Yes, I think I can.
To make sure it wasn't someone else who had used Meng Meng's identity card without his knowledge, a photo ID was carried out with the shop owner.
This is the man.
Are you sure that he's the one?
Yes, I'm sure.
Data checks also revealed that Ko Meng Meng had past records.
Our suspect, Ko Meng Meng, a 40-year-old unemployed. His last conviction is in June 1998 for a series of housebreaking and theft, and he was sentenced to 42 months imprisonment. As recent as July to September 2008, he was serving a sentence for breaking into a karaoke lounge.
Just 4 months after being released from prison, Meng Meng had gone back to his old job of housebreaking. Armed with a name and an address, the police immediately went to Meng Meng's flat.
Hello, Auntie. I'm Officer Sim from Central Police Division. Is Mr. Ko Meng Meng around?
Meng Meng?
Is he home?
He hasn't been home for a long time.
Do you know where is he?
What happened? Have you found him?
No. Can we come in and have a look? Thank you. Which is Meng Meng's room?
The second room?
Nothing incriminating was recovered from Meng Meng's flat. IO Sim immediately issued a police gazette on the suspect, and the checkpoints were alerted. Just 3 days later, on the 14th of February, Ko Meng Meng was apprehended. He was leaving Singapore for Batam.
Excuse me, sir. Can you please follow me?
What for?
We need to conduct a further check on you.
Taken totally by surprise, but suspecting his game was up, Meng Meng did as he was told. At the time of his arrest, Meng Meng was found with a brand new luxury wristwatch, a mobile phone, and an EasyLink card, all of which were goods stolen by him.
Are you working for a gang or do you work alone? Mr. Ko, it's best for you to tell me the truth. You have already been identified. So you work alone or with a gang?
I work alone.
Why not with a gang?
I don't trust anyone, that's why.
In the investigation, police confirmed that their observation was that the premises the culprit broke into were those not locked from the inside. If the door was locked from the inside, he'd move to the next one.
Are you into computers?
Not really.
Then why do you steal them?
I steal so I could sell them later.
How much would you sell a laptop for?
Around a few hundred.
Tell me why. Why do you do it?
I need money.
Ko Meng Meng was convicted of 41 counts of housebreaking and theft by day and night. As a habitual offender who was previously convicted for the same offence, he was given an enhanced punishment of 7 years of corrective training. The break-ins in Chinatown areas demonstrated that locking up the front doors of your shops alone is not enough. At the end of a business day, secure and lock all windows and doors. For the rear doors, use additional locks from within the premises. We would like to urge owners to install security alarm with motion detection sensors within the premises. The alarms should be those monitored by service provider. This is because upon activation, any movement within the premises could then be detected immediately. Pay special attention to your air conditioner compressors which are installed outside your premises. Make sure they do not become means for burglars to gain access into the premises. After the break, what you should not bring into Singapore. In 2009, about 37 million travellers passed through Singapore Changi Airport. The Airport Police Division of the Singapore Police Force worked closely with the Singapore Armed Forces and the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority to ensure travellers' safety and the security of the airport. One of the responsibilities of the ICA is the screening of items brought into the country. Vigilant and stringent checks are conducted on travellers' baggage to ensure that they are not carrying any prohibited or controlled items. In recent years, there has been an increase in the importation of prohibited items like handcuffs, pellet guns, nunchakus, knuckle dusters, and ninja stars. In 2008, 1,602 passengers were detected in possession of prohibited items. This figure soared 174% to 2,790 in 2009. Most offenders, however, claimed they were not aware that the items they had with them were prohibited. This was also the case in the following story.
It was just a random check.
Please proceed to the X-ray machine for security screening. Yeah? Do you have anything to declare, sir?
No, sir.
Proceed, please.
Sir, please place your bag on the bench. Can you unlock your bag for the physical checking? Do you have any permit for this item? This item is prohibited in Singapore.
I bought this item overseas as souvenirs. I really didn't know that they are prohibited.
Can you pack your bags and follow me to the office?
Upon inspecting the items, the officers verified that they were prohibited by law.
Hi, APD. Yeah, I'm calling from T3 ICA baggage office. My officer has just detected a passenger with 3 stun guns, 1 nightstick and 1 sword. Yeah, so please send your officer to Terminal 3 ICA duty office. Thank you.
Within minutes, the airport police arrived. Mr. Chiang was then taken to the Airport Police Division office for further interviews.
Are these items yours?
Yes. I bought one of the stun gun when I was on holiday in Bangkok.
How about the other items?
The remaining items are gift from my friends.
So did your friends who gave you these items travel with you on the same flight back to Singapore?
No, we went our separate ways in Bangkok.
What do you intend to use these items for?
They were meant as self-protection when I'm in Bangkok. After the holiday, I brought them back since I already spent money on them. I really didn't know that they are prohibited.
Mr. Chiang, the stun guns and sword are arms which cannot be brought into Singapore without a license. Therefore, you have committed an offence. As for the nightstick, it is an offensive weapon. Being possession of it in a public place without lawful authority is also an offence.
54-year-old Chang Fook Kwong was sentenced to 9 months imprisonment for importation of arms without license and possession of offensive instruments. Chang Fook Kwong didn't declare the prohibited items. Neither did he have a license to bring them into Singapore. When in doubt, you should always make a declaration.
Excuse me, officer. I have an item to declare.
What's the item? May I take a look at this, please?
Yes, it's a samurai sword.
Samurai sword. Visit, please.
Okay, can.
Do you have a permit for this?
No, sir.
Please follow me to the office and see my duty officer.
Yes, sir.
Under Singapore law, the following items are prohibited and not allowed into the country without authorization or lawful purpose. Airsoft guns, stun guns, toy guns, replica guns, handcuffs, pepper spray, truncheons, lighters in the shape of firearms or ammunition, ornaments made from empty cartridges in the shape of a tank or airplane, and bullet keychains, swords and daggers, parangs, kukris, krisses, flick knives, butterfly knives, machetes and catapults, knuckle dusters, nunchakus, and ninja stars. Offenders may be sentenced to imprisonment for a term of up to 5 years, fined up to $100,000, and may also be punished with caning of not less than 6 strokes of the cane.
Travelers are required to declare fully and correctly all dutiable, controlled or prohibited items that you are carrying at the Red Channel. All such goods and their import license or authorization should be produced at the entry point for verification. If no prior approval or import license is obtained, the goods shall be detained for inspection by the Arms and Explosives Branch of Police Licensing Division. If the goods clear the inspection and are approved for import, the owner shall be notified to contact Arms and Explosives Branch for collection and to apply for the import license. Please note that failing to declare, making a false or an incorrect declaration is a serious offence under the law. If you are not sure, you should proceed to the Red Channel and make enquiries. For more information, you can also visit the following website. We have come to the end of this episode of Crimewatch. If you have any feedback or query, do feel free to drop us an email. I'm ASP Jessica Ang, signing off.